Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppers. Today, joined by
Brett.
Inomyces. And look at the setting. It's dark, but it's light. It's because the sun set, and we're still outside because it's blazing hot. And I have had the idea to use just the camera gear outside because it's nice out here
Instead of moving inside.
Yes, so we're still sitting outside, and we're drinking some Imperial Stout. We're drinking some beer from a brewery we haven't checked out in a long time, actually, from Transient Artisan Ales in Michigan, and this is their Buckley Select number 8.
Yeah.
And I got this one specifically because of a barrel used, and Brett loves these barrels, and I thought this would be fun to share with him.
But so do you.
This is apple brandy barrels. Yeah, I also love apple brandy.
Yeah.
And we got this one on Beer Dome. They got a big shipment of Transient a little while back, and this was one of them that really caught my eye. We've had the Select, no, that was Reserve, number 1 and 2, which we really like.
Yeah. Buckley Reserve 1
Yeah,
and 2.
but they do a lot of different variations on the Buckley beers. So this is oh, it smells good. It's a 14.5% Imperial Stout with vanilla, tugboat coffee, Michigan maple syrup, aged in Laird's apple brandy barrels, which is also the apple brandy barrels they use at the Vale. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, let's check it out. Pours up. Well, now we got the light so we can see it. It's pitch black, but it's not like motor sludge and like viscous cream like a lot of more modern stouts, which is totally okay with me.
But it is black.
Yeah, and it's also
you
rich.
can't see through it
at
all.
And it's rich, but it's not like pouring out like just syrup.
Nope.
And I think that's nice sometimes, but it's also sometimes we've had some examples where it's too extreme.
Yeah. But it looks like look at my glass. It's so bubbly. It looks like something that is coming straight out of a barrel.
Yeah. It looks like it's been in a barrel for a long time. You can also see alcohol legs.
Yeah.
Let's check out the aroma. Oh, that smells really nice.
Yeah.
Loads of vanilla and like apple brandy. It's almost like a little bit of that like pie crust type thing or something like that.
Yeah,
like caramelly, appley pie.
Caramelly crusty.
Yeah. Lots of vanilla.
Caramel crust.
Yeah. Custard. Vanilla custard.
Mm.
Lots of vanilla. Almost like a little bit of a salted caramel nuance to me.
Definitely salted caramel. I actually think. Yeah.
Yeah, loads of fudge. Hints of
lots
licorice.
Of chocolate.
Now we got banana.
No, yeah.
It's just the music.
Loads of chocolate. Almost like that almost chocolate sauce kind of.
Yeah.
Thing.
In huge barrel. And the apple brings some fruitiness and almost a slight autumnal flair, which is really nice.
But what I love about apple brandy is that they usually have that mixture of fudginess, but also that, caramelized fruit or apple.
Yeah, caramelized
thing,
fruit
which
and also
lifts it, you know.
Yeah, like caramelized fruit and also sometimes that slight autumnal, like cinnamony twist.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think with many of these dark beers, it kind of lifts everything and it makes it a bit more lively and a bit more interesting. Not just heavy and sweet and you know.
It gives some brightness actually in a sense.
Exactly.
It smells really good. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Ooh. Really fumes up in the mouth. Like lots of barrel. It's like also actually quite dry.
Yeah, well, it's
still
very
velvety.
kind of toasty, but it's sweet at the same time. And yeah, it is slightly, but I don't think it's
high carb.
I don't think it's crazy,
really nice.
Crazy dry.
No.
But because it is still rather sweet and toasty. Yeah, the only thing I have is the carbonation.
Yeah, the carbonation is really high. I'm trying to get some out of the glass.
Yeah.
But lovely apple brandy barrel flavor. And huge, like it fumes up in the mouth because there's so much barrel. But I think it's also because of the carbonation.
Yeah.
Loads of vanilla on this one.
But
it's like a lighter side of full-bodied beer. It's not like as rich and decadent as modern beers, but it's also, I think, a little less rich than some other Buckley variations.
Maybe.
But it could also be the CO2 that makes it seem a little less
One thing
rich.
I'm not getting so much of is the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not getting as much lift from the coffee, whereas it's more focused on the barrel.
So much apple brandy.
Yeah, it's much more focused on the barrel.
So much like caramelized apple, like red apples dipped in caramel, with like loads of vanilla and chocolate. And I think that's really the dominant. Maybe there's a hint of maple too, but vanilla chocolate is the massive.
I just think that complex sweetness it has is the maple.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because
it doesn't feel like just one-dimensional, like sugary. It's a more complex sweetness.
There's a touch of brown sugar as well.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
A good amount of warmth that fades quickly. Very slick, very silky.
It's very silky and kind of. What I like is that even though it's not crazy thick, it still lingers for a long time.
Yeah.
It's still going, still going. It has lots of intensity.
Yeah.
So it's not that it, in any way, kind of feels
no, it doesn't.
Thin or short on the palate.
It doesn't fall short. There's a lot of layers, a lot of stuff going on. There's even like hints of some tobacco, raisiny kind of figgy
It's a bit like
things.
sweet pipe tobacco.
Yes, for sure. And a lot of roast too. It's definitely a roasted beer. Like it tastes like an Imperial Stout. It's not like just all sweet fudge. There's definitely a roast profile, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Without it being bitter. It's not bitter. Really
No. But it's just like toasty or softly roasty, kind of like a lightly roasted to medium roasted coffee or something.
Also, just shaking it, I was sitting like this. It gets richer. I really think that the CO2 helps, or it ruins the mouthfeel. I'm sitting like this.
You can't see it because it's...
Yeah, I'm sitting like this.
It's on the...
I'll sit like this. It's like sitting this under the table.
Hopefully not that.
And the mouthfeel is much better when you shake out some CO2.
Yeah, it's much better instantly when you just shake it a bit and, you know. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Bourbon County mouthfeel, I think.
Yeah.
Like rich without being decadent.
But the flavor profile is...
It's really rich.
Yeah, and modern.
Yeah, very modern.
But it's not like uber crazy pastry modern.
No. It still tastes like an Imperial Stout, which is, I think, really important. But big, vibrant, like apple brandy barrel with the vanilla and chocolate being the most dominant. And then maybe that complex sugar note, which is brown, sugary, maple syrupy. A bit of leather tobacco, sweet pipe tobacco, roasted malt, charry wood. Really nice, rich, oaky taste to it, like caramelly woodiness too. I think it's lovely, and it's. I think I think a lot of people who drink a lot of really big hype stouts will think like this is too thin, to be honest.
Well, I guess it could have a notch more body, but it's not
that it needs it.
No, it doesn't necessarily scream for more body. But
it makes it somewhat drinkable. If it
had
almost 15% beer.
A touch more, I wouldn't
hate it either. No. But it's not
no.
like for me a critique point either.
No. Because it makes it definitely more drinkable and balanced, and I feel like it may be, I don't know, it makes it feel a little more bright and not as heavy.
If I'm to compare to the most recent like banger of an apple brandy barrel aged beer we had, it was Sleeping Forever from the Vale. I don't think it's on that level. I think that was a bit more rich and complex, and that was without adjuncts.
I think it at least had a little more body than this one.
Yeah, but I think it also had more complexity.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's also one of the things, like you can get complexity from adjuncts, but then that also takes a little bit away from the base. But
yeah.
This is
still so fun that you say this
beer.
Because Christian, he drank this beer a week ago, and he also had Sleeping Forever, and he said the exact same thing.
Interesting.
He thought that Sleeping Forever was maybe just that notch more interesting and complex than this.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think about grade?
I feel like maybe a strong 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking 94, maybe a small 95, like a small world class. It's just like intro to world
really
class
nice
for
beer.
me. It's really nice. It's got all the flavors that you want and whatnot. Like it doesn't have to be thicker than this. It wouldn't hurt it. But if I just compare it to, again, Sleeping Forever, that is just like a 97, 98 type beer. I think we gave it something like that, which is just like, it's just the recipe and the barrel worked so well together. This is still amazing beer. So I think maybe a small 95, and I'm sure I will like it more as I sip on it. But really, really good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
As it is now, I'm sticking to the strong 94. Maybe I'll bump it up. It could also go down. Let's see.
But it's really good. Definitely check out some Transient. I mean, you can get their stuff now in Europe once in a while, and I think it's worth it to try some of their stuff.
For sure.
We've tried a lot of their stuff over the years, especially at NBCC and whatnot.
And I think, especially if you're maybe someone who enjoys something like Bourbon County a bit more, but likes the modern flavors, this is more for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than the crazy thick pastry
over the top stuff.
Yeah.
Even though those are also awesome. Like we also like those.
Yeah,
But
to a degree, I can't drink that much of it.
No.
We have to split them.
Yeah. Like this, I could drink on my own an entire bottle.
Exactly, and that's also something you got to give credit.
That's a big plus.
Because it's not something you necessarily see that much in craft beer these days. That's something like drinkability is.
Drinkability is not something that people rate as a plus.
No.
Drinkability is just whatever because people are used to drinkability.
Yeah. And I think drinkability should weigh a bit more.
I think so
in craft beer than it does.
Just Michael, what do you want to grade this on the behind the camera? You got to speak loud.
97. I really like this one.
There we go. So if you guys had a chance to try Transient's Buckley Select number 8 in apple brandy barrels, let us know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beer. Check them out. Link for the shops down below. I think this sold out quite quickly because it's the highest rated of all the Transient beers. But they still have some, so check them out. Link for the shops down below. And yeah, as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, all that social media jazz. And we're going to say cheers. And see you guys in another beer review.